This is Impact Wrestling.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next episode of Sudden Impact. So, in today's episode, I'll be covering Impact Wrestling's next pay-per-view, which is exclusively airing on the Fite TV app this coming Friday for the WrestleCon weekend in Dallas at the Fairmount Hotel. And the event is called Multiverse of Matches. So I'm thinking that this is kind of what they were trying to go for a couple of years ago when they did that United We Stand event on Fite TV as well, when they announced a whole other, all these wrestlers from other promotions and companies competing in matches under the Impact Wrestling pay-per-view. So, but it didn't end up being as many wrestlers from other companies appearing because of the logistics of it back then. So, but this time there are a lot of other wrestlers from other companies in particular that have confirmed their appearance. So we've got wrestlers from Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling Noah, and NWA as well. So this would be quite an interesting event to see, because the whole Forbidden Door thing that AEW and Impact Wrestling have been doing over the past couple of years, this would be a nice way to see what the actual effect of it could be, having multiple promotions competing, sending their wrestlers over to compete on one company's pay-per-view. So with that said, we'll just jump straight into the matches and my predictions for them. So the first match is a four-way tag team match for the Impact Knockouts World Tag Team Championships. So this sees the newly crowned champs, the Influence, the team of Madison Rayne and Tennille Dashwood, alongside Caleb with a K, taking on the team of Tasha Steelz and Savannah Evans, and then also going up against Giselle Shaw and Lady Frost, and Decay, the women's part of Decay, so Havoc and Rosemary. So I think this match was just kind of thrown in there last minute because they don't really have any plans for the women's tag team championships, or the Knockouts tag team championships, and they haven't had them for a while. Given that they've got the women's knockout champion Tasha Steelz competing in this match with Savannah Evans and Giselle Shaw and Lady Frost, who were feuding, who were in the middle of a feud, teaming up. It just seems kind of weird, but I guess they need the bodies in that match just to say, hey, now that we've taken the championships and given them to the Influence from the Inspiration, we need some more women's tag teams to be highlighted. And I think this match could potentially throw up some good combinations for those for future Knockouts tag teams going down the line. I'm not sure about having Tasha Steelz and Savannah Evans win the championships, though. If I would book them to do that, because Tasha Steelz has just won the Knockouts World Championship from Mickie James a couple of weeks ago, and I think she should focus on making that championship her own before doing anything else. I do believe that Savannah Evans does need a definite push as it is, but whether that comes in the form of a tag team match with her and Steels, or just a singles push, it just, yeah, I'm not sure. But, and also having Giselle Shaw and Lady Frost team up when they were just a couple of weeks ago feuding. I'm not sure what the reasoning behind that is. Maybe they put their differences aside and said, hey, let's team up to take the Knockouts Tag Team Championships. And because I've seen how well we've performed in those matches that we had against each other, and culminating in the match, the three-way match last week against Deonna Purrazzo for the Reina de Reyes Championship and the Ring of Honor World Women's Championship. So maybe that they've seen how good they are, how good a chemistry they have, and hopefully something can be forged going forward. Maybe, I don't know. And then Decay. This is the most established Knockouts tag team in Impact Wrestling, because they've been there for the longest time. And they've held the Knockout Tag Team Championships in the past. So I wouldn't mind them winning it either. So as long as Impact Wrestling has a definite plan going forward for the Knockouts Tag Team Championships going forward, I think this would be a good match. I'm not too sure if I would have the Influence lose at this stage, because they're just a couple of weeks into their championship reign. So I still think they would hold on to the championship. Okay, and then the next match on the card is the team of Nick Aldis and Mickie James from NWA, taking on the team of Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green in a mixed tag team match. So as you may have seen on last week's episode of Impact Wrestling, Mickie James was betrayed by Chelsea Green, and in her match against Tasha Steelz for the Knockouts World Championship, and then she was also attacked by James was also attacked by Matt Cardona afterwards as well. And so this sort of set up the whole match, because Matt Cardona is currently the NWA World Champion, heavyweight champion at the moment, and Nick Aldis is whom he beat at a couple of weeks ago to win that championship. And obviously having Nick and Mickie team up together, husband and wife, against Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green, also husband and wife, because they've been feuding on NWA over the Matt's World Championship. So this match would be a good one. I don't see Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green losing, because I think they'll just do some dirty tactics to win the match, or cheat to win. But yeah, that's just a simple mixed tag team match. I'm not sure if it would be an intergender thing thrown into it, but Impact Wrestling are always wanting to push the wrestling world forward with these intergender matches and allowing the women's wrestlers to actually get physically involved and take moves from the male wrestlers, like Mickey James did from Matt Cardona last week's episode of Impact. And moving on to the next match, it's the returning Alex Shelley, who returned at the last Impact Plus event of Sacrifice, and I'm not sure if he's back full time or that he's re-signed for the company at this stage, but he's taking on Speedball Mike Bailey in a singles match. So this would be a high-paced match back and forth, and I think Speedball should get the win, as it would give him momentum leading up into the three-way match for the X Division Championship at Rebellion later in the month. So I definitely see Speedball winning this match and using that momentum into Rebellion later in April. All right, and so the next match is sort of a weird tag team match because it's got Josh Alexander and Jonah taking on the team of Moose and PCO. So it's the whole heel and face teaming up dynamic. So Josh Alexander, you may know, is facing Moose for the Impact World Championship at Rebellion, and Jonah and PCO have been having previous battles in Impact Wrestling as to assert their dominance on who is the Impact Wrestling's monster wrestler. So I thought, hey, might as well team them up. I don't see Moose losing this match, because if he does, then it would kind of ruin his momentum and going into Rebellion. So I'd have him win this match, him and PCO win the match, and then continue on the feud leading up into Rebellion later in the month. And then the next match is the Champ Challenge, as with Deonna Purrazzo as both the women's Ring of Honor Women's World Champion and the AAA Reina de Reyes champion. So she's facing a mystery opponent, and so I'm not sure who it's going to be. I'm hoping that Impact Wrestling is going to bring someone forward who isn't quite a massive signing. So I know that there's a few people a few women that would be in that category. So I'm thinking that it may be Taya Valkyrie that would step up to the challenge, because all the other wrestlers are doing other things or have signed for other companies at this stage, and Taya's the biggest name free agent out there at the moment. As far as the winner of the match goes, I don't know. I would say I would give the victory to Deonna, just purely for the fact that I think she's going to go on to Supercard of Honor and defend the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship at that event, and then also later in the month she'd also defend, or she's also having a match at AAA's Triple Mania, but I don't think it was for the Reina de Reinas championship though. So I give the victory to her because she's just been absolutely blowing it out of the park. And then the next match on that card is Chris Sabin taking on Jay White in a singles match. So Jay White previously faced Chris Sabin's Motor City Machine Guns tag team partner and mentor, Alex Shelley, at Sacrifice and beat him. And so now they've been having Jay White and Chris Bay and the Motor City Machine Guns having a bit of a rivalry, I think, leading up to a blow-off match further down the line. So I see that Jay White winning this match because just to keep that momentum going, and so he can say that he's beaten both his former mentor and is one of the Impact Wrestling's originals, and one of the most highly decorated wrestlers in Impact Wrestling. So that's why I'm giving Jay White the win for this one. And I mean, he can also say that, all right, now that I've beaten both members of the Motor City Machine Guns, and I can say that I will form a tag team with Chris Bay as the Bay and Jay connection. That's what they've termed themselves as last week on Impact, and we can go after the tag team championships. And I definitely think that would be beneficial because Impact Wrestling hasn't had the star power in terms of established tag teams sticking around long term for rivalries for the tag team championships. But so I can definitely see if Jay White stays around in Impact Wrestling for a little bit longer, I definitely see that the Bullet Club version of the Jay and Bay connection definitely challenging for the tag team championships down the line. And so the next match is between Eddie Edwards. Now Eddie Edwards has said that he will not be competing as an Impact wrestler in this event, that he would be competing as a wrestler from Pro Wrestling Noah, and he would be taking on the Stone Pitbull himself, Tomohiro Ishii from New Japan. And so this one, I think that this would be a good match in terms of like hard hitting and everything, like going in totally crazy, like with the strikes and the chops and the kicks and just that whole strong style of wrestling, which both wrestlers are very adept at and very talented at. And so having a match like this on this card would mean that we can see Tomohiro Ishii compete back in America after like a few years of not being in America and having matches in America. And I'd really like to see it, and I think this match might be the dark horse to steal the match of the night. But as far as the winner goes, I think that Eddie Edwards would win because he just either cheat to win, or his Honor No More team would come down and interfere in the match, but not actually getting involved in the match, but just cause a distraction for Ishii. and that would lead to Eddie Edwards picking up the victory. And the second last match on the card after that would be the intergender Ultimate X match for the Impact X Division Championship. Now, this would be against with champion Trey Miguel, taking on Chris Bay, Jordan Grace, Rich Swann, Vincent, and Willie Mack. So, if the Eddie Edwards and Tomohiro Ishii match doesn't live up to the hype, the Ultimate X match would. Because anytime you have an Ultimate X match, it's just amazing, and Impact Wrestling makes sure that any and all of the wrestlers are heavily featured in meaningful spots and moments, and they're all given the chance to shine. I'm not sure who I would have winning this match, because as I said, there's a three-way for the X Division Championship at the Rebellion pay-per-view later in the month, and I reckon that having a title change here at this event would not give the new champion enough time to actually develop a storyline and develop the feud for that match. Whereas if you had Trey winning the match, then he could go on in subsequent episodes of Impact and say, hey, I won the intergender Ultimate X match at Multiverse matches, and he would start to build up the feud between Ace Austin and Mike Bailey, who are the other competitors in the match. And also he may try and plant the seeds of doubt into his opponent's minds, because I know that Ace Austin has been sort of reaching out to mentor Mike Bailey in the past couple of weeks of Impact television, and so he may just say start planting the seeds of doubt for who, Ace Austin may turn on Mike Bailey in the lead up to the Rebellion match. But yeah, so that's why I have Trey Miguel winning that match. And then the final match, the main event of the night, is the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson of the Bullet Club, taking on Ring of Honor's Briscoe brothers, Jay and Mark Briscoe. And that's just like a regular tag team match. They're not fighting for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships, and they're not having it for the Impact Tag Team Championships either, because the Good Brothers are no longer the Impact Tag Team Championships, the tag team champions. I see this as being a fantastic tag team match between two of the tag team industry's best tag teams, or two of professional wrestling's best tag teams of the past decade. And I think this match would go forward in actually highlighting how good the Briscoes are, get more eyes onto them in the mainstream, because I know that Ring of Honor's been bought by Tony Khan, and he's wanting to use that as its own company going forward, but having AEW wrestlers compete on that, and then Ring of Honor wrestlers also compete on AEW programming, sort of like an NXT model with Raw and SmackDown. So I'm not sure who I would have win the match, but I definitely think that this match would show the mainstream audience how good the Briscoe brothers are, and just get them noticed in amongst the wrestling world. So I don't know, but so I'll just predict them to win purely for that fact. And the Good Brothers, are always good would always bounce back from their loss. I think they may have something going on with Bullet Club later down the line, like all 4 members of Bullet Club teaming up, like in a faction between some other of Impact Wrestling's team. Oh, okay. So those are my picks for Impact Wrestling's Multiverse of Matches winners. And let me know what you guys think. And as always, thank you so much for watching the video. Please like, share, and subscribe to the Sudden Impact channel. Please leave a comment down below of who you think would be the winners from the matches. And yeah, just feel free to comment on anything like that. And I will be posting up my Rebellion picks and predictions, preview and predictions video a little bit later in the month. So keep your eyes out for that. Thanks, guys. All right, see you next time.